Welcome back to the channel list of. Every one of us believes in fate, but some people don't just tempt the Reaper, they actively high-five him and walk away with his wallet. There are people in history who have survived situations so improbable, so statistically impossible, that they redefine the very concept of luck. These are the legends, the ghosts in the machine. This is the list of incredibly lucky people who cheated death multiple times. 1. Tsutomu Yamaguchi, the double survivor. We start with a man whose story sounds less like history and more like a cosmic joke played on the Grim Reaper himself. His name was Tsutomu Yamaguchi. On August 6, 1945, Yamaguchi was in Hiroshima, Japan on a business trip. He was walking to the dock when the American B-29 bomber, the Enola Gay, dropped the first atomic bomb, Little Boy. Yamaguchi was less than 2 miles from ground zero. The blast ruptured his eardrums, blinded him temporarily, and heavily burned his upper body. He somehow survived the immediate aftermath, spent the night in an air raid shelter, and despite his severe injuries and the hellscape around him, he decided to travel home. His home was Nagasaki. The exhausted Yamaguchi reported to his office in Nagasaki on August 9th. While he was describing the horrors of the Hiroshima blast to his supervisor, the second atomic bomb, Fat Man, detonated over the city. He survived again. He was approximately 2 miles from this epicenter as well. Tsutomu Yamaguchi is the only person officially recognized by the Japanese government as having survived both atomic bombings. He lived to the age of 93. If luck is a finite resource, Yamaguchi clearly found the unlimited version. 2. Anatoli Bugorski, the proton shot. Our next survivor proves that sometimes cheating death requires a combination of reckless physics and sheer anatomical good fortune. Meet Anatoli Bugorski, a Russian physicist working at the Institute for High Energy Physics. In 1978, Bugorski was checking equipment on the U-70 synchrotron, the largest particle accelerator in the Soviet Union at the time. He put his head into a section of the machine that was supposed to be inactive. But it wasn't. A beam of accelerated protons, traveling near the speed of light, shot directly through his skull. Imagine a highly concentrated stream of pure energy passing straight through your head. The energy dose he absorbed was astronomical, potentially 200,000 to 300,000 rads near the exit point. For context, 600 rads is generally a lethal dose. Bugorski reported seeing a flash brighter than 1,000 suns, but felt no pain. The beam burned a clean hole straight through his brain, burning a path from the back of his neck to his nose. His face swelled up beyond recognition. Doctors predicted he would die within days, if not hours. But he didn't. He suffered permanent paralysis on the left side of his face where the proton beam exited, and occasional seizures, but his intellectual capacity remained entirely intact. He even went on to earn his PhD. He survived the equivalent of a nuclear-powered bullet to the head. 3. Roy Sullivan, the human lightning rod. Some people are lucky. Others are spectacularly unlucky but somehow still survive. Meet Roy Sullivan, also known as the human lightning rod. Sullivan was a park ranger in Shenandoah National Park, and he holds the Guinness World Record for being struck by lightning more times than any other human being. 7 times. It started in 1942, when the lightning bolt hit his leg and knocked off his big toenail. In 1969, an unexpected strike near his truck gave him a nasty burn. In 1970, the lightning hit a transformer and then transferred the charge, searing his shoulder. In 1972, the strike set his hair on fire, forcing him to pour a pitcher of water over his head. And it just kept happening. In 1973, he was driving. The lightning hit his arm and leg and knocked his shoe off. In 1976, he was struck again, injuring his ankle. His final, 7th recorded strike happened in 1977 while he was fishing. It hospitalized him with chest and stomach burns. Sullivan survived all 7 incidents, which is statistically impossible. The odds of being struck by lightning once in a lifetime are already low. The odds of being struck 7 times are essentially 0. He had a theory that animals were trying to steal his luck. Apparently, a bear once tried to steal food from him after one of the strikes. Even the wildlife knew this man was special. 4. Vesna Vulović, the impossible fall. In 1972, JAT Flight 367 exploded mid-air over Czechoslovakia. The cause was a terrorist bomb planted in the baggage hold. The plane broke apart at 33,000 feet. There was only one survivor, Vesna Vulović, a flight attendant. Vesna fell over 6 miles, that's 5 times the height of the Empire State Building, and survived the impact, sustaining horrific fractures, including a broken skull, pelvis, and multiple vertebrae, leading to temporary paralysis. But the real luck wasn't just surviving the fall itself. The alternate angle to this unbelievable story is the chain of specific, implausible factors that lined up for her survival. First, she was trapped by a food cart in the rear section of the plane, pinning her against the wall, which essentially shielded her torso during the initial breakup. Second, the section she was in landed on a heavily snow-covered, steep incline, acting as a massive cushion. And third, she was found almost immediately by a local woodsman named Bruno Honk, who had been a medic during World War II. He knew exactly how to treat her severe injuries immediately to ensure she didn't bleed out until rescue arrived. She didn't just survive an air disaster. She survived the perfect storm of physics, cushioning, and timely medical assistance delivered by a random man in the Czech mountains. 5. Mauro Prosperi, the Desert Gamble. Our final entry is Italian police officer and ultramarathon runner, Mauro Prosperi. His brush with death proves that sometimes the only thing that saves you is your own incredible willpower. In 1994, Prosperi entered the Marathon des Sables, a grueling, 6-day, 150-mile race across the Sahara Desert. A sudden sandstorm blew him completely off course. He ended up running 186 miles in the wrong direction, lost in the deepest, most desolate part of the desert, far from any checkpoint. For 9 days, he survived only by rationing water he found in ditches, drinking his own urine, and desperately searching for help. On the 6th day, realizing he was utterly alone and suffering profound hallucinations, he attempted to take his own life. The attempt failed because his body was too dehydrated to properly process the medication. His will to live, even when trying to quit, was too strong. He eventually stumbled upon a remote shrine, and the fresh water supply there gave him the strength to continue. He walked another 2 days until he found a tiny settlement in Algeria 12 days after getting lost. He had lost 40 pounds. Mauro Prosperi did not just cheat death. He stared into the void of dehydration and absolute isolation and then kept running. From the blinding flash of the atomic bomb to the silent terror of the desert, these individuals prove that reality is often stranger than fiction. Is it luck? Is it fate? Or is it simply a statistical anomaly that proves humanity is incredibly hard to kill? Let us know in the comments which survivor story you found the most unbelievable. If you enjoyed this deep dive into human resilience, please smash that like button and subscribe to List of for more unbelievable true stories. We'll see you next time.